A caramel slice is such a classic, and we've tweaked it to give you a bit of an edge over your friends with some white chocolate and ginger. Firstly, what I've got to do is I've got to line my tin. I've got my 20 by 30 tin. Just going to give it a quick spray with some oil. And I've cut 2 perfect pieces of baking paper here, and I'm going to lay them in. And what it's going to do, because I'm laying them down like this, I'm going to be able to lift the slice out really easily. I know it might seem like a lot of effort, but it's really worth it in the end, instead of you having to try and tip out the whole thing. We're now just going to get a bowl, and we're just going to firstly bake off our base. I'm going to go in with some plain flour, some butter, a bit of brown sugar, desiccated coconut, tablespoon of ginger, so it is quite fiery, and some vanilla. It all comes together nicely. And just keep on mixing that together until all those elements are incorporated. So that's nice and even. It's kind of like a really nice crumbly texture, which we're going to press into the base of our tin. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, and just kind of spread all the pieces around. And then just use your fingers to therapeutically press in. I'm just going to spread it with a small palette knife, and that's just going to really flatten the base. So I've got my oven preheated to 170. I'm going to get that in there for about 20 minutes and just till it's nice and golden, and then we'll be able to do our next layer. Okay, so our base is nice and golden, and I'm just going to let that cool a little bit, and we can get on to making our caramel layer. So we've got 3 cans of condensed milk. So by no means the healthiest recipe, but it is absolutely delicious. And then I'm just going to go in with some butter and some golden syrup. I'm just going to cook that over medium heat until it's all nice and combined, and then we'll be able to bake it. And you can see that's nice and smooth now, so we can pour it over that ginger base. Give this a bit of a knock to get rid of any of the big air bubbles, and then into the oven for about 30-35 minutes until it's really nice and golden caramel. So that caramel is really nice and golden. You can see there's a few bubbles that have come to the top, but that's all good. We're going to be covering it in some white chocolate. So I've just got a saucepan of water, and I'm just going to bring that to a low simmer and just get a heat-proof bowl and put it over, and that way we're going to be able to gently melt the chocolate. So our water's simmering. I'm just going to put some of the white chocolate into the bowl, and also 3 teaspoons of vegetable oil, and we'll just keep on stirring this until it's all melted. It might take a few minutes because we're kind of trying to gently melt the white chocolate so it doesn't seize. So we'll just take that off the heat and just let that cool for a couple of minutes. So the white chocolate's nice and cool, so we can get it over the caramel. So just bring back in your slice here and just daintily pour it over, so you're not going to make a giant mess. And then with immense skill, just move that around, and you're going to have a nice even coating. A little bit of a tap to get rid of the bubbles. And then into the fridge for a couple of hours, and then we're just going to let that top layer set, and we'll be done. Okay, so our base is nice and set, so we're going to be able to serve up. Firstly, why is my knife in this weird situation? I've got it in some hot water. This is going to make it a bit easier to slice. And because we lined our tin so well, we're going to be able to get this out pretty easily. And what you'll see is we can make these great slices. It kind of melts that white chocolate really nicely. And you're left with your beautiful layers in there. And then just get these into generous sized pieces. And there is our twist on the classic caramel slice, but with some white chocolate and ginger. I'm going to need some alone time so I can devour the entire thing.